Hey guys, Blind here, and we're back with the final episode of Trials of Mana. In the last episode, we took out Belladonna and avenged the Eagle's death at long last. And we made our way through the Mana Holy Land up to the Sword of Mana to face his Dark Majesty. Such a shame. The tree has withered and the goddess of mana is no more. No! How could you? Are you in pain? You've become weaker without the tree of mana. Fairies are born to protect the tree and perish without their purpose, I see. This is the end of the goddess of mana's reign. Mavolia will rule this world with me as its supreme god. No, I won't let you. No, fairy! So impatient. She wished for death so badly she tried to go against me alone. Are you ready to admit that you have no chance against me? You should gracefully give up this fight. The world will be consumed by Mavolia, and the new evil order will be ruled by me. There is no place for you here. Shall we end this, now that I have godlike powers? I will shed this old, broken body and inhabit the Prince of Laurent instead. I will simply wear his body and cast my previous one with all its horrible memories aside. You will only see my true form for a moment before you perish. The Dark Majesty became an archdemon. This is what the ruler of Mavolia, the human realm, and the sanctuary looks like. Ha! I feel the power within me. I will obliterate you myself. Oh, that was a cheap shot. No! Who is causing this pain? This ends here. Even without the tree or mana power, we will never give up without a fight. Not as long as Hawkeye is here. Without mana, elementals and spirits may disappear, but don't lose hope. You can create a new world, Hawkeye. Hawkeye, Kevin, Angela, you must stand up and fight. The future is in your hands. We'll be with you always, so keep fighting. And we are restored from our surprise attack. You think you're clever, but without the Sword of Mana, you cannot win. It is hopeless. You are finished. You're wrong, don't you see? As long as Hawkeye is here, the sword is in our hearts can be called hope. Ah, I read that totally wrong. As long as Hawkeye is here, the sword in our hearts called hope will never disappear. Ridiculous. You think your illusion of hope can stand up against a newly realized god? Think again. And now the battle finally starts, so let's go ahead and buff up immediately. We can't attack him just yet, so we will take advantage of this time to get our buffs off. And I guess... okay. Since I don't have access to a lightsaber, I guess I will just use Leaf Saber on everybody. Because why not, right? You don't want to use any kind of dark magic on him. I believe Ancient Curse is non-elemental, so we will continue to use it, but he will actually absorb any shade magic.
I forgot to make it nighttime, didn't I? Anyway, while he's invulnerable like this to physical attacks, we can still hit him with spells. And for that reason, I am going to switch to Kevin as soon as I get Leaf Saber up on Hawkeye. Yeah, that damaged him just fine. And then from here, we're just going to do the same old strategy that we've been doing. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to Kevin, focus my melee attacks down with him while I strategically use Hawkeye and Angela to cast spells. Well, Angela's just gonna spam them, but... Oops, I accidentally switched to Angela while she was casting. That's great. Yeah, we're just gonna drain Angela's MP completely. Just spamming this. You may want to be sparing with it at first. If you're not confident that you can get your MP back up enough to get more of it off. Anyway, don't use Dark Rain. That will heal him. We'll use Weapon Smack. Don't really need to use spells with Hawkeye until the Archdemon enters a phase where melee attacks can't hurt it. Which isn't very often, to be honest. Oh hey, it is nighttime. Excellent. Okay, definitely need... You know what? We're just going to use an item on that. Because she's the only one hurt. So, we're going to use a similar strategy to what we've been using so far. And we're just going to unload and make sure our health stays fairly high. It's a pretty simple strategy. This team has been very much a one-trick pony the whole game. But you know, sometimes that one trick will carry you all the way to victory. Don't be judging. Plenty of successful one-trick ponies. Just look at Hanson. They made a lot of money off of really only one song. I can't name any other Hanson songs besides Bop. Okay, now we definitely need to heal. Probably should have set Hawkeye's tech to level 1, if I'm being honest. Same with Kevin. I think they do more damage to a single target like this, with that being the tech level, and I don't believe I can actually set it now. Yeah, unfortunately I cannot. Lucky for us, we've kept our minor mallet. Told you we would need it. I'm a little worried. I think that level 3 tech that Hawkeye's using is triggering a counterattack. I guess I'll find out soon here. No, I don't need to go. Guy has a ton of health. Everything up to this point was just a warm-up as far as being a damage sponge goes. Change form is getting a little bit annoying. Oh wow. She is already out of MP. Well, let's go ahead and restore her up. Now this is the final fight, so don't be shy about using up every last one of your items if you have to. If you're around level 50, it shouldn't pose too much of a threat. Change form again. Cannot stress enough how much you definitely want the minor mallet for this fight. Just imagine trying to heal all that without it. Oof. So if I haven't made it apparent enough up to this point, this is the final boss that you will face only if your main character is either Hawkeye or Reese. Everybody else has their own unique final boss. Not everybody else. There's 3 different final bosses. But you know who the pairs are. Durin and Angela, Hawkeye and Reese, and Kevin and Charlotte. Alright, Hawkeye got beat up pretty bad. Oh man, I forgot to restock my Poto oils. Ooh. Yeah, we've got that that debuff on. It's not good. No, let's just bust out a Poto oil because I kind of want the healing instantaneously. Poto oil has served its purpose very well throughout this series. Probably ought to recast Leaf Saber on Hawkeye. So, a general idea here is as long as you are spamming abilities, the boss can't spam abilities. Because apparently only 2 people can really queue up spells at a time. It's just a very strange quirk that this game has. Alright, Thunderstorm. Single target. Not really too high a damage either. Probably one of the weaker abilities that the Archdemon has. Just keep the meteors falling. Okay, she is out of MP again. Time to load her up on Fairy Walnuts once more. Another thing to keep in mind is Angel Grails actually restore MP to full. Does require the character to die, but once you're out of Fairy Walnuts, it's pretty helpful. I'm not really going to worry about Hawkeye's silence right now. I haven't really needed to cast spells with him much at all. If it were Angela or Kevin, that would be something I would heal immediately. Alright, got some of Vanguard's tricks. Keep the onslaught going. And we enter Phase 2. His true form. Your buffs stay, so you don't have to worry about that. But now, if you've been holding back, now is the time to really unload. Because this is the final stage. Of course, I haven't really been holding back. He is really beating up on Hawkeye. I think Hawkeye may have been the target of every single target spell he's cast. He might have a few new abilities here, but really, the fight doesn't change really at all for this phase. His hands move about. I think he can do melee attacks with them, but as long as you're spamming abilities, you're not really going to see much of it. Oh, she's got an MP again. I have one fairy walnut left. I'll give her 2 casts. And then I guess I'll just have to let her die to restore her MP. The hands definitely can block melee damage from time to time. So that is something to keep an eye out for. That would be the time to unload with spells. Once again, hitting Hawkeye. I guess he's got a vendetta against Hawkeye for some reason. Even though this guy is more Reese's villain than he is Hawkeye's villain. Like, honestly, Hawkeye's storyline kind of concluded when Belladonna was defeated. Meanwhile, if Reese was in your party, her mission was to find her brother, and this guy's threatening to steal her brother's body, so yeah, he's definitely the big bad for her. Hawkeye kind of plays support. And like, there's a similar role in the other storylines, I do believe. Then again, maybe not so much. Because the minor villain in the other storylines does play a more antagonizing role to both characters. Like, aside from leading the assault on Laurent, Belladonna didn't really do anything to Reese. Oh, he's buffing up. This would have been a great time to have some Dispel magic. If only I had it. Okay, I feel like my MP is not getting restored. So I'm going to go ahead and recast Leaf Saber just in case. Start with Angela. Oof. Okay. I'm gonna need an item to restore that damage. Hitting Hawkeye again. Alright, now he's guarding physical attacks, so Hawkeye, throw your big weapon. Kind of stopped guarding it before that came out. Oh well. Oh, good, she died. Now I can use a couple life and start spamming magic again. Or a couple wishes. Go ahead and recast the Leaf Saber on her. He's doing a hefty amount of damage now, that's for sure. This is his ultimate attack. Yep, does some heavy damage. Definitely want to respond to that with a Poto Oil. That's too much damage to risk healing with Healing Light. Should still be using Angela to do the Poto Oils because she definitely has better stats for it. And I am actually going to top that off with a Healing Light. This guy faces pretty much the same problem that like all the bosses from the Benevodon onward face, which is that he's just an absolute damage sponge. Like ridiculous damage sponge. Just got so much health. I do think that the bosses probably have a little too much health. Especially the Benevodons, because like, it wasn't hard. I barely had to dip into my items aside from using a couple of Poto Oils and the occasional Fairy Walnut. It wasn't hard, it was just time consuming. I'm not ready to bust out another couple life or a couple wishes on her, so we're gonna heal her up with items. Now, in retrospect, it probably would have been a better idea to save one last Fairy Walnut, just so that in case I messed up and didn't notice that my MP was getting low on Kevin, to be able to cast that Leaf Saber, but it should be okay. I'm glad I didn't end up over-leveling for this fight, because after I farmed up the or started to try and farm with the gear seeds. I was really worried that I overdid it with the leveling. Is this the last cast she's got? I'm just gonna let her die if it is. Yeah. There. Oh. Well. That's it. Game over.
No! Mavolia! My reign! How can this be?
Fairy! I can't advance the text on my own here, by the way. Thank you for never giving in to despair, but the Tree of Mana is dead and mana has disappeared from the world. I can't exist without mana. We didn't know each other for long, but I treasured our time together. I won't forget any of you. Fairy, don't go! I liked having a voice in my head. Don't worry about me, Hawkeye. You were fighting for everyone's future, including mine. I will be reborn as the Mana Goddess. What? You see, fairies are like seeds of the mana tree. Once they find a worthy person they trust completely, they can become the new tree and goddess. To bring mana back into the world, I must take the tree's place in sleep. It may yet take time, but if in 1,000 years your descendants still remember the Tree of Mana, I will awaken. I'm sure I can help them in their hour of need as well. But until I am needed, I will remain here asleep, quietly protecting the world as this tree. This is goodbye, Hawkeye, Kevin, Angela. May the sword of Mana you have in your heart shine on forever. Finale. Flammy is on autopilot here. I'm sure this would be different if you picked two characters from the same storyline. Mother! Angela, where have you been? Have you been skipping Jose's lessons again? You shouldn't let your mind wander. Remember, you will someday be queen. I know that it's hard, especially if magic doesn't come easily for you, but you can take all the time you need to learn it. I pray to the goddess of Mana every day, asking for her blessings so that you may learn magic faster. Mother! Oh, Mother! Text is going a little bit fast. What's wrong, Angela? There's no need for you to cry. Oh, but please introduce me to your friends. I cannot believe something so horrible has happened. I don't remember any of it. How could a queen allow such madness? Even if I was being controlled, the idea that I would try to sacrifice my own daughter is terrifying. Please forgive me, Angela. It's okay, Mother. You are still the true queen, and your people love you. I love you. Please continue to rule Altina. Thank you, Angela. Oh, we get a happy ending with Valda.
Never forgive you. You hurt Carl.
fool! You always let your anger cloud your judgment. Take stock of your situation before you act. Huh? You still believe that you killed Carl? See for yourself. Carl! You're alive! How? Gorman's illusions were merely made Carl's body seem lifeless. Then you failed to... I saved him myself from the shallow grave you dug. King, I was wrong about you. It served my purpose. You've always been quick to give in to weakness. I needed you stronger, physically and mentally. You mistakenly thought your mother left you when she actually passed away from illness. I never told you so that your anger would rise. What? I sought to use your anger to bring out your power, but that is not true strength. True strength is being able to overcome your weakness. I care not for revenge or the Manasol. I created Feralia because beastmen were something. Humans were relentless in their oppression of our people. Could not sit idly by. I tried to give the kingdom something. My people were no longer bound by their fear of humans. Dang, this is going fast. You have finally begun your journey towards strength and self-reliance. Kevin, always fight for what you believe in. I will. My friends and I will fight for this world without man, for the future. Hopefully you guys were able to follow that a little better than I was. And I will surpass you. I will. Ha! I am not yet old and feeble enough to lose to you. Go now, Kevin. Friends forever, Carl. Always. And my new friends are your friends, too. Find more and more friends, Carl. Yay, the doggo lives. That was worth it. Honestly, all of it. Hawkeye, it's you! Jessica, are you okay? As you can see, she's doing fine. Navarro thieves from all around the world have been coming back to the fortress. We should go back too. Father. Jessica, Hawkeye, I have been trapped in a nightmare for too long. I heard about what happened to Eagle. That is why I intend to bring this thief guild that he loved back to its former glory. Mana no longer exists in this world, and the water in the desert will soon dry up. Our next target is clear. We must steal water and greenery from nature itself. This desert was once a lush and fertile land. We must bring back the rain and make it hospitable once again. There must be a way. And we got the new tree sproutling growing right there in front of the old stump. New hope, new life. And that brings us to the credits, which means now I can take some time to talk about this journey down memory lane that we have shared together. I first found this game, I think, in 1997, which was 2 years before the fan translation was completed. There was like a partial translation that really just let you use English characters to name your characters. It was garbage. So I played it just in straight up Japanese. I picked Angela, Charlotte, and Reese, and I think I got up to the boat, the haunted boat. I don't think I made much progress past that. But when the patch was released, I played through it again. I believe I used Hawkeye, Reese, and Durin? Maybe I used Charlotte. One of the two. And I really loved the game. At the time, I must have picked a very melee-centric party, because at the time I was praising the game for not interrupting the action as much as Secret of Mana did, and now, after playing this team, I realize how very wrong I was about that. I always loved the way the game looked. I think this is a very beautiful game visually, and I really enjoy the world, like all the locations. Very interesting locations, such as the Kingdom of Feralia and, you know, the Thieves Guild out in the desert. Just all really cool places. And this game was just one that I really loved. It was my favorite Mana game for the longest time. I think after replaying it and realizing that this game had some flaws, such as the spellcasting flaws that I found, and if you have a spellcasting character, it definitely slows down the action a ton, which is horrible. So, in retrospect, I think now probably my favorite is Sword of Mana, because I did replay that one recently as well. I've also played Secret of Mana recently. I played Legend of Mana recently. I've even replayed the original version of Sword of Mana, Final Fantasy Adventure, and Adventures of Mana. Sword just kind of combined the best of the first three games into one. Anyway. What I think about this game now is I still think it's a good game. I think not all party combinations are conducive for fun gameplay. Particularly, I think any party that contains Angela is gonna be set up to be kinda boring. Just because no matter what path you pick with Angela, she's going to be relying on opening that menu and going into spellcasting and freezing the action constantly. There are certainly certain classes on other characters that rely on casting a lot of magic, but it's not as big a concern for any of them. So my advice, if you want to play this game, don't use Angela. But, I have played the demo of the remake that is coming out later this month. Actually, about 2 weeks from now. I think it's 2 weeks exactly, because I'm recording this on April 10th. I believe it comes out on April 24th. I've already got it pre-ordered. Right now, I'm feeling like I want to let's play it, and I might go ahead and get a head start on that with the demo. I've been wrestling with which team I'm going to use, but I think I'm going to use the same team I used here, just to really drive home the differences and improvements and flaws that the remake has over the original. But as far as this series goes, there's not going to be any bonus videos. I may come back to this game sometime in the future and play through it with different characters. The game does have a super boss, but they made the bizarre decision that they would hide it in Durin and Angela's final dungeon, which means they are the only two that you can have as a main character and be able to fight the super boss. Unfortunately, Hawkeye's my favorite character, so that's why I picked him. But, yeah, look forward to the remake. Make sure you guys pick it up if you enjoyed this, because I did already play through the demo once, which goes up to the Full Metal Hugger, just in case you're wondering. So unless you pick Charlotte as your third character, you're only going to have 2 characters to play with. But I think that's plenty to get an idea for how it kind of improves things. It's a lot better. A lot faster, a lot smoother. I really only had one complaint with it, but I'll talk about that when I play that. This game, still a solid game. It's not as good as I thought it was in the past. I definitely found myself frustrated by things that didn't frustrate me in the past. I do realize now that the game does keep you way behind the level curve unless you do some grinding, and the bosses are gigantic HP sponges that aren't really all that threatening. And the ending was honestly not very satisfying. But, you know, this one game, it was more about the journey than the ending, to be honest. But I've been ranting long enough. Thank you guys so much for watching this. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do so that you can tune in to the next Let's Play when I get it uploaded, which I'm going to try not to waste too much time. I have already decided what's going to be next. I'm actually going to do the Trials of Mana remake demo, but I'm also going to do another one, which eagle-eyed viewers will be able to figure out before that video gets uploaded. Please leave a like on the video, helps out the channel a lot. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.